Welcome to the love-infused ravings of Bach. That's where peace lives. All this talk of letting go, it can get a little overwhelming or daunting, right? Like, how? How? You keep asking me to let go, but how? What? It's this sort of amorphous concept we intuitively understand. I mean, again, we can just think about it very literally and imagine holding something. You can even do it. It might be a good exercise. Hold a ball or something, like a tennis ball or a rock if you're out in the garden or something, and just hold it and then kind of get quiet, just be still for a little bit, feel that in your hands and open your hand, let it go. We don't do it gradually, we do it all at once. You just let it go and let it fall. So, right, we just start playing around with what's it feel like to let go? And what are we letting go of? And again, we can just keep it really simple because it's really actually true. We're just letting go of whatever thought we're believing at the moment. And maybe even that sounds too complicated. Just letting go of the thought. Just letting go of whatever thoughts you're having right now. Right, that's the practice. That's the practice of letting go. And it's not even practice. It's truly letting go. You're letting go of whatever thought is arising, whatever thought is appearing. And it doesn't take any real effort. It's just a matter of not paying attention to it. We just don't give it any attention. We don't give it any energy. There's no interest in it. And that is letting go. If you need to for a while, turn your attention to something else like the breath or whatever you're doing. Maybe it's baking cookies or watering your garden or petting your dog, talking to someone. Whatever it is, put your attention fully on what you're doing and let go of the thoughts. That's really all we're letting go of in the end, is our addiction to thinking. Right, that's the real struggle. That's the real cause of suffering, is our belief in our thoughts. So we don't have to make it a big deal of like, oh my God, I have to let go, and the mind imagines, once again, thought kind of conceives of this huge ordeal, makes it this big event, this sort of impossibly large event. And all that we're doing is letting go of our interest in thought right now. And notice that. And if you can't do it, imagine it. Imagine how freeing it would be if you weren't paying attention to your mind. Imagine how freeing it would be if your mind was quiet. And that is the result of letting go of our interest in thought. The mind starts to quiet down until it's just quiet. It needs attention to be infused with energy. It needs the attention. Without attention, it's nothing. Right? Unless you give something attention, there's no energy in it. If someone told you that a friend of theirs, broke their toe, but you didn't even know this friend at all, you might say, oh, wow, that's too bad. But you probably wouldn't put any more attention to it. There wouldn't be any energy in it. You wouldn't go around the rest of the day thinking about that broken toe, most likely. I mean, some might. But you don't even know this person. So without the energy, without the attention, there's no energy in that story for you. So we're essentially retrieving our attention. We're not giving our attention to our thinking. We're giving our attention to what we're doing. And even if we're just sitting quietly in some kind of meditative state or if that's again too daunting, we're just sitting quietly. You're just sitting quietly doing nothing in particular. Maybe looking out at your garden or looking across the river or looking out at the street, at a restaurant, anywhere. And you're not really paying attention to anything. You're not paying attention to what you're looking at in particular, and you're not paying attention to your mind. So you're just relaxed and aware, just aware, simply aware, effortlessly aware. And then if you need to put your attention on something, maybe your meal comes and you put your attention on the food and picking up the utensils and eating and the chewing, the taste of it. And when you need to focus your mind and put your attention on something, you do, and you put all your attention on there. And it's always just about not allowing attention to go to thought. And when it does, you notice it, you let go of that thought. That's again back to we're just letting go of whatever thought is appearing now. But it's not a big effort. We just remove our attention from it, remove the interest in it, take the energy out of it by turning our attention to something else. So we don't have to think of letting go as some big daunting event. Of course, that's what the mind will tell us. It's just a very simple, nearly effortless movement of shifting our attention from thinking to either what we're doing fully or to nothing, letting attention rest as pure awareness. Just being aware, which it takes no effort at all. We're all naturally aware. You're hearing and seeing and feeling. All these things are happening naturally without any effort whatsoever. So yes, it's easy to build up this idea that looms large in our mind as, oh my God, I need to let go. I need to let go. I keep being told to let go. Everyone wants me to let go. My teachers and therapists and friends want me to let go. So we just let go of the thought appearing now. We're just taking our interest, our attention away from thought. That's all. And then you start to get the hang of it. You start to feel what it's like to not be lost in these stories in our minds. And the ease and the relaxation and the freedom of that. We're not busy in our own minds all the time. Quieter and quieter. More and more space to just be, more availability to just be. Allowing ourselves to rest as presence without problems right now. Once again, the mind might complain, throw a fit about all the problems that we have to solve before we can rest. That's just another thought, right? The mind is endlessly seductive and sly that way. So if we can recognize that it's just another thought and we let it go, come back to being present. So it's actually all very simple. The mind complicates it all terribly. Just keep it simple. And at first it might be very difficult because some of these stories are old and have lots of energy to them because we've been infusing them with energy, with our attention and our interest for years and decades maybe. So we set our intention, right? We want to be free. We want to be free. And essentially we're saying we want to be free of the stories of our lives And we could even be more specific in that we want to be free of the stories that cause us to suffer. You don't have to be free of the wonderful stories, even though someday you may want to be. Let's just start with the ones that make us suffer. And we start letting go of those as they appear, as best we can and as often as we can. And we start to get a feel for it. And it's a feeling that we like. It may feel at first that we're betraying these stories that have been our companions for so many years, but you're not. You're being true to yourself by freeing yourself of the tyranny of these stories that are simply that at this point, just stories. No shame in being free of those. No guilt in being free of those. That's where peace lives.